I'm on the way to town to meet a friend I'm going to make a video with for this channel. Not today, but we are going to do some planning. This is my favorite cafe in Stockholm. It's great. So, we have been planning for the video, and this girl sure has some crazy ideas.
It's gonna be blood, it's gonna be nasty, it's gonna be fabulous. I think that the video is going to turn out fine. Great. Storytime. So, as you probably know by now, I like to go to festivals. Small festivals, big festivals, and mainly alternative festivals in one or another way. And while it is a lot of great fun and party, I think there is one thing that I really would like to tell you, because it actually is quite a milestone in my life. It was my first festival. This was back in 2010, and I was a bit tired of my life. And I tried to get people to come with me to this festival that I have known about for about 3 or 4 years, but never been able to go. I was 18 years old, and well, it just didn't work out, so I decided I'm going by myself. Something that I need to mention is that back then I was quite a shy person. I didn't like to interact with new people, or I thought it was hard at least, and I thought it was... I had big trouble with it, and well, nowadays I think that is great fun. Anyway, I realized that it's probably more fun to be a person that are able to be a very social person. I thought that it's more fun to be a social person. So I made this festival going as a challenge to myself. I will go to this festival, and I also was volunteering for the festival in one or another way. But that's another story. I decided to go to have a challenge for myself. At this time in my life, I didn't already this was one of my first experiences with alternative culture, and in this way I had been to one concert before, but this was the first big thing. So I live about here in Stockholm, and the festival is about here somewhere, a village called Arvika, and the festival was called Arvikafestivalen. It was one of the very big festivals in Sweden, about maybe 20,000 visitors, and mainly a lot of alternative music in different genres. It was great because you can have electropop, and there was also EBM and a lot of music. And well, I decided to go. On the train there, I was actually a bit frightened because it was the first time I was doing anything like this. But I decided to myself, I'm going really to try to be as social as I can, and I'm going to have a great deal of fun at this festival. So already at the station where I had my stopover, I identified some other festival goers and tried to start talk with them. And then met up with other people also at the train going to this small village in Sweden where the festival was going. So I actually already made a little bit of friends when I arrived there. Arvikafestivalen was a campsite festival, so when I was walking up the road towards the festival, I was by myself. But there I saw a couple of people who accidentally did throw all their beer that they had been to the city to buy out on the road. and they were lying there like sprinklers, throwing beer everywhere. And well, that was actually one of my not classmates, but someone I knew from school. So I said, hello there, I'm here by myself, can I hang out in your campsite? And they said yes. So that was a nice thing. Anyway, it didn't turn out like I did put up my tent there, and it was so nice just to have some people that I knew a little bit. I didn't actually spend that much time in that actual camp. Or if you don't know what a camp is, it's like when you are at the campsite festival, you are with your friends and you put your tents together, and we call that a camp. So I actually turned out to spend more time in one of the neighboring camps, where I met so many new friends, and that is actually the thing that I did bring home. Like, the music was awesome and the concerts and everything, but what I did bring home and what made the festival so awesome was all the new friends and acquaintances. It was great. It was great, and I was so happy. And I think what actually makes this a milestone in my life is that it actually, this was the first experience that I had about both going to a festival and also traveling by myself. And since this experience, I have been traveling quite a lot by myself, and I'm very secure about it. And I think like this first experience actually did set my limits, because everything turned out to be so great. If I would have had like a really bad festival, like my first traveling alone experience, maybe my life would have looked totally different from what it looks right now. I don't know. So what do I want to say with this story? I don't know. It's an experience for me, but I cannot say that it's valid for everyone. But for me, it was just so great to throw myself out there. I was tired of the way I was living. I was tired of being antisocial. I was tired of not having friends with the same interests as me, and I did something a bit extraordinary. At least in my life at that point, it was like a very special thing to do, and it turned out to give me so much. So maybe when you want to change something, when things are bad, you gotta make changes. And you gotta take chances, because if you don't take any chances, you won't win. And of course, I think what's as important is to, if it doesn't turn out to be good, maybe you need to try again. It actually turned out that Arvikafestivalen, the festival that I was going to, was organized for the last time this year that I went to it. They were saying they were organizing it the year after too, but they cancelled the festival a couple of weeks before. And I still remember that I heard it on the radio, and I called my friend that I was going to go there with, one of the friends that I actually met at the festival the year before. And I still remember that we were crying together on the phone, because this place, this festival meant so much to us. And that is why I'm so happy that actually now we have a new festival coming up. It was organized the first time last year, and it will be organized again this year. The Subkult Festival, which is organized on the west coast of Sweden. And it's a little bit the same. It's an alternative festival, but in the same way as Arvikafestivalen, we did manage to mix a lot of genres, like everything from EBM to goth to whatever, like keeping the alternative, but still also including like indie rock and psytrance and dance music in some way. It was an alternative festival, but it was very wide, and that is interesting, I think, because you get to meet many different kinds of people, and people with various interests in music, and you also get to experience and to get to know new music, which I think is great. So if you have the possibility, why not trying to go to a festival this summer? I know that it is a bit hard to... It can be expensive, it can be far away, it can be scary to go to a new place, but for me it was so much worth it. And with those words I'm going to say thank you for listening to this tiny little story, and now it's time to go for tonight's party in Stockholm. Cheers.